I think pretty much we've covered the parliamentary branch. We've covered the structure of the prime minister and the cabinet, the executive branch, or sometimes referred to the formation of the government. And now the third branch, the third branch, the judicial branch. Okay, so Malaysian court basically will start off from very hierarchy systems. Is actually a very hierarchy systems. Of course, from the very bottom, you've got the magistrate courts, which, they look into lower monetary issues, and family matters, magistrate, like maybe small offenses like throw rubbish, that sort of things, you see. And then civil cases with lower monetary claims. Then you have also got the court for children. Court for children is, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what that is supposed to be. So it's mainly concentrate on, young children, because that one is also another one is juvenile court. So this is to look at, juvenile means that, below 18, they're not considered as adults, you see. So involving minors, and that is related to also, I think court of children is usually dealing with like child welfare and protection. So then the next level out is session court. So session courts actually deal with more higher serious offense with higher monetary value that usually comes from magistrate court that appeal to session courts. Then from there we will have the whole, this is called subordinate courts. You see, subordinate courts are like the lower one. Then you've got the superior court. Superior court start off with high court. High court got two sides. High court of Sabah and Sarawak. That's why you say that High Judge of Sabah and Sarawak for High Court of Sabah and Sarawak. And then you've got the Chief Judge of High Court of Malaya. So this is one for West Malaysia, one for East Malaysia. So you've got these two divisions of high courts, and this is dealing with things like civil division. There's also a criminal divisions to it. So it's going through all these major high courts are going through all these major civil and criminal offenses. If you go to high court, it's really, really, really serious stuff. Then, of course, the Court of Appeals, then, of course, there's some special cases that will go up to the Court of Appeal. And in Court of Appeal, there will be several panels of judges who review the decision from the High Court and say whether can be appealed or not. And then the highest one, of course, is called Federal Court, which is the highest court in Malaysia. So this is served as the final appellate court, meaning that, High Court will make decisions already and then go to a Court of Appeal, and if Court of Appeal still, you're still not happy with the decision, you can go up to Federal Court, you see. But of course, Federal Court will deal with things from Court of Appeal and cases involving constitutions issues, federal issues, federal law issues, more on, acts and all that sort of stuff as well, you see. So it is of matters of national importance. That one is not only criminal and civil cases. So these two bottom one, Court of Appeal and High Court, usually they're dealing with that sort of things, okay? Then you've got a very specialized court like Sharia Court and Native Courts. And then you've got Special Tribunal for Special Court for Sexual Crimes Against Children, Sharia Court Appeal Board, and then Industrial Court for Labor Disputes, and very specialized court for like Sharia and Native Court. These are under special court. This special branch here called special court. So this is the system. This is the judicial structure of Malaysia court systems. Okay, so I hope you guys are enjoying this, because I don't think and much of us actually know about this. That we talk about going to court. It's like, okay, which court are we going to? If you throw rubbish, you go here, if you have higher value, like let's say involving higher amount of money, like things like maybe scamming and all that, maybe you can go here, like if it involves criminal, it will go up to here, and then up again, and this is of national level. So this is appeal. This can be appeal as well. Dealing a lot of appeals coming down from this part, and so dealing with a lot of appeal coming out from here. But normally, High Court is where we go for the serious criminals and civil cases with very high monetary values. So okay, so yeah, so this is the Malaysian court systems. I think there is a very interesting concept of in the Malaysian legal systems in a court practice. It's called stare decisis. Stare decisis is actually what we call stand by the decision. Okay, so basically whatever decision that is made by the court will stand. So that will be part of the case law. So they will say stand by that decision and do not disturb the undisturbed. So this standing by this decision basically say that, okay, once the judicial judges give already a decision, this is going to be court precedence. Then macam court record. Precedence means previous record, you see. So the court has already got a previous record and you must refer to it. Like in the future cases that is similar, you must refer to the courts. It will stand by that. You know, you have to refer to that. If you want to change it, yes, you can, but it is better to stand by it for new cases. Okay. But of course, if let's say there's another case of stare decisis is the high court will the higher court will can overrule the lower court. That is another elements of stare decisis. So the higher court they have more dominance over the lower court. So yes, judges make decision, stand by those decision. It will be like marked down as part of the future references, and then you cannot simply change those decisions anymore. I mean, like change for new cases, but all cases you cannot change those decisions unless, of course, you go through all those different appeals. That is basically like all the different appeals that will be part of the what we call I mean like the appeal courts and all that. You go up to the different courts to appeal, you see. So then the higher court decision will be binding. So the doctrine of stare decisis is not strictly binding to lower courts, which means a higher court in particular can actually overrule the decision from the lower court. Okay. So yes, like I said, judicial decision, once it's there, you cannot change it anymore. But if you go up to appeal, the higher court can actually change the decision. Okay, so they have jurisdiction over the subordinate courts. Any superior court will have jurisdiction over the higher court. So decision of federal courts are binding. This federal court, the highest one, is binding over all the lower courts, are considered the authoritative interpretation of the law. Similarly, the decision of court of appeal on binding on subordinate court will be in their respective jurisdiction will also be as binding. Okay, therefore, when the higher court establishes a precedent, lower court cannot change it. So let's say now the lower court say that, I've got these new cases here, and I look at the old case. This one is the penalty 2 years sit in jail. So then similar case, I will also follow 2 years sit in jail. That kind of follow as in stare decisis. Okay, it's already in the record. Okay, you still can change, but then there must be a very good reason why other sources of law that comes together to say, okay, now I want to say this is really serious. I'm going to give you 5 years. You see, so then if you give 5 years, then these people can go up to higher courts. And if the higher court says, okay, 5 years, then end up, this will be another case precedence that you can actually follow in the future. Okay, so higher court will establish precedence over lower court. So decision of consideration of previous decision is not strict. Decisions may not be as strictly followed in common law like UK. Malaysian court still follows it very seriously. So when deciding for cases. So basically this is something that you have to remember for the Malaysian judicial systems. Unfortunately, I think these three constitution of Malaysia kind of like put these three executive branch, judicial branch, and also the legislative branch in such a way that there's a lot of influences over the judicial branch from the executive branch, as we can see. You see, so I think most of the cases, like in US law especially, they are not so mixed up together in such a sense that the executive or the legislative can actually affect. The executive cannot really affect the judicial branch. That means court are independent, very, very independent. Okay? And I think that one is a must, something for us to think about, because if court is not independent,